Hey y'all, it's Nellie here checking in from 9B Penton Road in Stanmore Bay. Um, I felt a YouTube video coming on, and yes, here I am again in my van, in my place of safety where I don't have to worry about what other people are gonna think, and I can just be myself and practice telepathy and psychic ability and the different levels therein. Now, I will speak about the different levels in another video. Hopefully I'll remember that. I've just had someone turn up in my driveway. Oh, it's only Linda. She's going over to the neighbours. Yeah, so far out. Okay, why do I spend a lot of time in my van? I do. Ask my flatmates. I spend a lot of time in my van. And the reason for that is that every day, I connect psychically and telepathically with living and deceased people. Now, you might think, oh my God, no wonder they've got her under the Mental Health Act, which is true. They do have me under the Mental Health Act. But that is because a lot of people told some really whopping big fat lies about me, and now I'm having to defend myself against those lies. So that's all coming out in my court case, which is currently before the family court. I'm hoping to prove a lot of what I'm saying. Now, I just thought I'd give you a little heads up. In my affidavit that I've supplied to the family court, I have actually spoken to them about my psychic telepathy and the different levels of it. Although I didn't get to finish that affidavit, but I have touched quite significantly on what may seem to a lot of people as phenomena. But it is in fact just like having a sixth sense. So there are different levels of psychic ability that I've referred to in my affidavit. However, today I'm just going to focus on on two levels. One is psychic ability and one is telepathy. Now, I spend a lot of time in my van practicing psychic telepathy, which means I spend a lot of time talking to living people who speak back to me, but I don't always hear them speak back to me because I've been so stressed out with my battle against New Zealand government ministries like New Zealand Mental Health, New Zealand Police, New Zealand Child, Youth and Family, aka Ministry for Vulnerable Children, and what was the other one? I've missed one. Oh gosh, it'll come back to me. In any case, so I'm having a really major battle. I'm fighting for my innocence. I'm fighting for the right to have psychic telepathy validated by New Zealand Mental Health. Now, that's a pretty big fight, but believe you me, I got a lot of fight in me for this because it's true, it's real, it's a part of my soul that I will never ever let go. In fact, without it, I do not function at my best. So I spend a lot of time in my van practicing psychic telepathy, and what I'm actually doing is I'm trying to save children's lives who are in the SIS system, who are currently locked in the SIS system, many who have had to run away, who also possess psychic telepathy. So we communicate with each other often on a day-to-day basis, and whilst New Zealand government is not believing what I'm saying, I'm having to, knowing that what I'm saying is true in my affidavit, and I know a lot of you will be thinking, no, that can't possibly be true, but believe you me, it is true. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to save children's lives by practicing my psychic telepathy with them in this van. I've actually got it listed on Trade Me at the moment, so I'm going to be very sorry to see it go when the time comes. But I am buying a new van, thanks to one of my very good friends, Richard, who's selling me a van very cheaply. So yeah, I mean, I'll look forward to that. But anyway, so getting back to psychic telepathy, as I touched on earlier, there are different levels of psychic telepathy, and it's really exciting to know what those levels are, because I don't see a lot of it on the internet. I don't see a lot of it in books. A lot of people haven't written stuff like this, and the reason for that is because a lot of people get locked up under the mental health system, called crazy, told that they're delusional, when in actual fact it is as real as breathing. It is as real as your eyesight. It is as real as the food you eat. So, so here's what I do. So this is just a little video clip to go public about something that has been a part of my life all my life, but it's something that I'm working on developing now, simply because the possibilities when you possess a gift like this is endless. It's a spiritual gift. So what I do is, right now I'm communicating with some of the children in the SIFS system. Now, many of the children that came to me for help, I love them like they're my own children. Now, there's no disrespect to who their parents are. I'm just saying that in their times of desperation, I mean, these girls were digging holes underneath bridges to survive the elements, because they had to run away from the SIF system here on the Hibiscus Coast, because CYF approved caregivers that had charge of them were abusing them. Now, about 2 nights ago, I saw a psychic vision of why one of my little heart adopted girls, I call them my heart adopted girls because they're in my heart to stay, and I will help them find their real parents, but sorry to say, I love these children and I will never stop loving them. And if you're as genuine a parent as I am, you will see that we can actually bond over this rather than seeing it as some sort of competition or whatever. These girls, they hid in around my house, and I've written about them in my death affidavit, which is currently before the family court. If you'd like to come along to that court case, feel free, but I'm not sure if it's a closed court case. It might be a closed court case because of the secrecy of the family courts. So getting back to it, so these are my heart adopted girls, a lot of the girls that ran away from the SIF system here on the Hibiscus Coast, where media does not like to shine a spotlight into what's really going on behind the SIF system, probably largely because